Hey everybody, what is going on? It is Dunbar Snackbar here with some MLB 2K12, and we've got game number 5 of the World Series coming your way in this one. Game number 4 ended up being a pretty heartbreaking loss for me because we ended up going into extra innings against the Braves, but we did end up losing in the 10th. So not too happy how it ended too, because I had that error that really allowed Michael Bourne to come home, but that's okay. It's in the past. Tim Hudson is going to be starting for the Braves. I guess speaking of the past, though, in game number 1, I was able to get a lot of hits off of Tim Hudson. I was dialed in. My offense was performing tremendously. And if I have that same type of performance here in game number 5, I'm unstoppable. And I think that the Commissioner's Trophy will be mine when this video is all said and done. But here's the first hit of the game. It goes to the Braves. It's going to be a little one that just goes into right center that Austin Jackson picks up. Ends up being a single. No biggie, right? Well, Prince Fielder, though, coming up, gets my first hit. This one is going deep, and this one could go over the wall, and it does. So a tremendous hit for him early on in the game to go ahead and give me the lead. You can see it says the 5th home run of the postseason. It's really the 6th of the postseason for him. So he's had a tremendous postseason when it comes to power hitting, and these were the expectations, though, that I had of Prince Fielder going into this season. That was going to be 1. He was going to lead the American League in home runs. He did that, sitting at 41. Then in the postseason, that power hitting that he had had all season long is going to continue on. That has definitely been the case here as well. So Prince Fielder has really lived up to my expectations, and I'll be frank, he's kind of exceeded them as well, because with the batting average that he had all season long, definitely beat what I thought he was going to have. I thought we'd be sitting at like 250 or something, but he was in the 300s. Here's Brennan Bosch getting a hit in the left field, so this means that this offensive production I've got going in the second inning is not done and over yet. But here's Delman Young. This one is going to get hit through the middle part of the infield, and that is going to end up being a double play that ends that inning. So kind of disappointing that we saw that. But Austin Jackson here in the top of the 3rd is going to get a chance, though, to be able to get a hit. I'm going to go ahead and watch this 12-6 curve for ball number 1. It ends up being just a little bit too inside. Got to be careful here because I know that Hudson does have some great off-speed pitches. I just got to watch for him here. Glad that I watched that fastball, too. That was outside. Go for another ball for me here. So a 2-0 count to Austin Jackson. Gosh, another 4-seamer. That goes for ball number 3. The smart thing to do at this point is to not swing at the ball, but just to go ahead and take a pitch. Because if it's right down the middle, it's a strike. Whoop-de-doo. But if it's close, it could end up being a ball. Just like that sinker was. So that's going to put Austin Jackson on first. And this is never a smart thing for anybody to do here, because with Austin Jackson and the speed that he has, I could turn this walk into what would essentially be a triple, just by stealing 2nd and 3rd. So there's a great jump for Austin Jackson. So as he dives head first, there's really no contest here whatsoever. Dan Ugla isn't even going to go ahead and tag him. That's just how much I was ahead of that throw over to 2nd. So Austin Jackson getting the job done here in the postseason. Peralta, I had to swing at that one here for defensive purposes because I got a pretty bad jump actually with Austin Jackson. And if I hadn't have swung at that one, there's a pretty high chance that he would have ended up being thrown out at 3rd. So what ended up being a defensive swing ends up being a run, and this is going to expand the lead even more for me here. We're going to be looking at a score of 3-0. So the Braves do have a lot of game to be able to turn things around, but if they don't do it here pretty quick, I think I'm going to be in good shape. So Victor Martinez getting a home run. Not often that you see that out of him, because really his specialty is the contact hitting. And of the big 3 that I have, being Victor Martinez, Miguel Cabrera, and Prince Fielder, he definitely had the least amount of home runs. So it's really cool that he goes ahead and he puts the 3rd run on the board for us here with that shot into right field. And that was just a great shot, too. Because, you know, if that's something that would have gone into straightaway center, it would have ended up being a fly ball. So that one was pretty close, you know, to going just right down the line the entire time. But still, it's like I dug that one out of the dirt to be able to hit that one. But, hey, it's 2K, so you really can't go off of the animations. We all know how flawed those animations are. Well, I guess those of us who have played this game. But I don't expect Tim Hudson to be in here for much longer. Here's Prince Fielder. Ooh, this one could also be going all the way. It looks like the crowd's jumping for it. So another home run for Prince Fielder in straightaway center. 408 feet. That's going to be 2 home runs for him here, and we still have a lot of game ahead of us. I'm wondering if we'll be seeing a repeat here of Reggie Jackson and his performance in the World Series. But, gosh, I was not expecting this out of Prince Fielder. He keeps going like this, he's going to end up winning the MVP of the World Series. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. But Miguel Cabrera, this one going deep into center, and it's going to get caught. So I thought that was pretty cool. We had Victor Martinez and Prince Fielder basically getting back-to-back home runs. It's not often I get a chance to be able to say that. In fact, I think I can count on my hands the number of times that we did see back-to-back home runs just all last year, regardless of what series I was playing. So it's kind of cool that we got that here. So another big lead for Austin Jackson, who heads over to second. That was a strike, but he only needs to slide feet first because that one wasn't even close. All right, so here we go, Johnny Peralta again. That's a little bit of a better jump for Austin Jackson. He's going to slide and make it. I was kind of worried about how that one was going to go because it was a very, very close play. But as he goes ahead and runs over to third with everything that he has got, Chipper Jones is not able to go ahead and apply that tag. And this is kind of what I was hoping to be able to do earlier. So man on third, Johnny Peralta with a high fly ball in the left field. Austin Jackson's going to tag up from third, come home. And that one was a pretty close play, actually. When you take a look at some of the other plays I've had at home, it's definitely one of the closer ones that I have had in a long time. So good job right there by Brado to get that one in pretty quick. But Austin Jackson just a step or two in front of that. We're looking at a 6-0 game here in the 5th inning. Now, Turner's on the mound for me. I don't think I've mentioned that yet here, but he has had a tremendous game because usually we're looking at about maybe 6 points. Or I'm sorry, 6 runs for the Braves already up to this point. You guys can tell I've been working on some other other commentaries if I say points quite a bit. But Prince Fielder in the 6th is able to go ahead and duplicate what Reggie Jackson did in 1977. It's one of the things that earned him the nickname Mr. October, and that is to go ahead and hit 3 consecutive home runs. So this is not unheard of for somebody to do, but it is, of course, very rare that you will see this in the World Series. My gosh, if you would have told me that this was how game number 5 of the World Series was going to be with 3 home runs for Prince Fielder, I probably would have laughed at you. But, gosh, it's pretty cool. Maybe I should start calling, Prince Fielder the new Mr. October. That's kind of cool that we've got that going here in this game. A lot of cool things have actually happened. All right, bottom of the 6th here. Turner. McCann's going to drive that one deep into center field. So there's been a lot of home runs actually in this game. This is going to make home run number 5, and this is going to be the first run for the Braves. Fortunately for me, nobody else was on base at the time, so this will also be a solo blast. I think all of the home runs, now that I think about it, have been solo shots. Yeah, they all have. So I guess the damage could be a lot worse. I mean, very easily we could be seeing, bases loaded, and then McCann comes up and goes ahead and crushes it at that point. But it's good to see the Braves kind of get back on the board. It is going to be something that's going to worry me a little bit, that here late in the game we're going to see the Braves put together a miracle to keep themselves alive. So I'll probably be taking a look at bringing out Turner here sometime pretty soon. Maybe go with a Aroldis Chapman or somebody like that out of the bullpen, who I trust to go ahead and hold their own and to make sure that we're not seeing anything out of the Braves. So 3-1 count here. This one is going to be another hit for the Braves that goes into left field that Brennan Bosch is going to go ahead and run down and throw it in. So that one, or that at-bat was kind of tough for me because it's not often that I'm throwing 3 balls consecutively. But, I don't know, it just happened right there. Towering hit that is going to go to the wall. It is not going to go over, luckily, but for whatever reason, I can't make a good adjustment. That's going to allow the runner to come home. So it is going to be a double for the Braves. That's going to take the lead for me down to 5. But I'm still in good shape. The score is 7-2 at this point. Just got to make sure I go ahead and avoid these type of mistakes. I just play smart. And as I mentioned, I think I could have the win here. All right, So Turner's still in. 2 outs. Another hit. This one goes into the gap. That's going to allow another runner to come home for the Braves. So only 4 points separate the two teams, which you can see the score now being 7-3. So I do have a few pitchers, or by a few I should say a couple pitchers, actually warming up in the bullpen right now to be able to be called in at a moment's notice. If this ends up getting pretty crazy, I'm not going to hesitate to pull Turner out. In fact, that's what I am doing right now. And who am I bringing in? One of your guys' favorites, and that is going to be Aroldis Chapman. All right, so you can see last game I ended up having with him. He did a tremendous job. I mean, what ended up being his 3rd inning of the postseason was just such a dominant performance. We saw a strikeout. We saw a diving catch. And another ball that got hit on the ground for an out. So I'm expecting the same kind of performance here out of him as Michael Bourne comes to the plate. We are able to get an easy out to be able to get things started. But I'm going to go with a slider here to begin with. Now, you can see Aroldis Chapman really has 2 pitches. Well, now you can see. There we go. So the slider and the fastball. So I'm going to be utilizing this fastball quite a bit. But I've got to set it up. I can't just go ahead and be throwing fastball after fastball after fastball. It's just not a smart thing to do. As a pitcher, you want to deceive the batter every opportunity that you can get. So if they can formulate some type of pattern over what you're doing, that kind of puts you in a bad position because the batter's going to be able to guess what's coming his way and, be looking at some base hits or something like that. So 0-2 count here. Another foul ball, so he's going to be staying alive right here. I'm going to go with the fastball one more time. I'm going to throw that one outside. And that is going to be strike number 3. So 103-mile-an-hour fastball. I can't imagine what it would be like trying to hit that. Honestly, I think it'd be kind of cool to be able to catch a 103-mile-an-hour pitch. I think the most I ever caught was in the 90s, and that was kind of tough, but it was still super cool. Braves still getting the hits going, even though we do have Aroldis Chapman in right now, so an extra base hit for him in the 8th inning to get things started off. Not what I was wanting, but that's okay. We still got some opportunities to turn some things around. I'm going to make sure I go ahead, though. I'm going to throw that one outside, but still able to get a hit, reaching for that one. And I was not prepared for it at all. The whole purpose of me throwing that ball so far out of the strike zone was, I was trying to go ahead and see if I could get that fastball back, because when you see the yellow, it means you're throwing it too much. But if I only have 2 pitches to choose from, I can't really throw something too much. So I just decided I'd go ahead and just throw one ball outside, get one back to green and just keep going with that. So Prince Fielder picking that one up over to Peralta and over to Chapman here for the double play in the 8th inning. 3 runs separate the two of us, and I am still nervous about how this game could end up if we don't go ahead and shut them down pretty good. So Chapman very lucky that no runs could end up coming because of those runners. Now here's Prince Fielder, though, tagging first base. And here we are in the 9th inning. 2 outs, Miguel Cabrera. This high fly ball with runners on first and second. This was a tough one for me, but it does end up getting caught. So I'm going to go ahead in the 9th inning. This is a save situation. So I'm going to be bringing in Jose Valverde to see if we can go ahead and get things finished off here. Aroldis Chapman is going to sit down. I would go ahead and keep him in, but the max that you're ever going to see out of him pitching is about 3 innings. He did pitch inning number 7 and number 8, and I don't want to risk it here in the 9th. So I'm going to go ahead and rely on Jose Valverde to get this save to finish off the Braves. And if we can do that, the World Series will be mine. So a great stop right there, actually, by Scudero. I'm glad I put him in right now, instead of Ryan Rayburn. So another one to Scudero, just an easy throw over to first. Got to play it smart right now. Don't want to go for any good moves. I just want to go ahead, get my feet grounded, make a decent throw over, and I'm able to do that. Michael Bourne up, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, no men on, but the Braves down by 3. I'm going to go ahead and start things off with a little pitch. That goes to Peralta, over to Fielder, and the World Series goes to the Detroit Tigers. There are the fireworks. Man, that is actually really cool to be able to say, but I ended up winning the World Series. Because to be honest, this is the first game I have actually played a season all the way through. Now, I didn't play every single game, but usually after about a few months, I'm just like, man, I'm going to go play something else. So this is actually really cool for me and kind of like a personal accomplishment to be able to make it here to the World Series and end up winning it. And I couldn't have done it without you guys, so I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that you should be celebrating this as much as I am. And not a big surprise that Prince Fielder ended up winning the MVP. Now, that's not his World Series total. That is just what he went ahead and did today. So I don't want you guys to think he had an 800 batting average through the World Series. That's insane to think. But 3 home runs, yeah, in one game, definitely deserves that. It's kind of cool he ended up winning. So didn't need to have Verlander, of course, in game 6 or 7. So I could have started him here in this game. That's probably something I should have thought of. But really, I've got no regrets on how this ended up. This was just a tremendous postseason and just a tremendous series all around. I'm going to kind of miss this one a little bit. But when I go ahead and get the new one started on MLB 13, the show, I think that I'm not going to feel too bad for that long. So to kind of end things, I wanted you guys to be able to see how the season awards ended up going here that affect our team. Of course, the American League champion was the Detroit Tigers. Prince Fielder ends up winning MVP. Look at that, 335 for the batting average, 41 home runs on the season. So yeah, definitely did a lot better than what I thought he was going to be doing here with his batting average, but the home runs, kind of about where I was expecting. So good performance out of him. Justin Verlander ends up winning the Cy Young Award. 16 wins, 6 losses, and an ERA of 2.23. So you got Sergio Santos as reliever of the year, and just some other awards that really don't affect us. Those were the 3 big ones right up there on the top that affected us. Of course, American League champion. We got the MVP with Prince Fielder and the Cy Young Award winner in Justin Verlander. So a tremendous season all around for me. Thank you again for watching, you guys. I definitely do appreciate this. I can't say more of this to come later on because this is going to go ahead and wrap up the Detroit Tigers franchise. We'll have a new one here announced pretty quick for what I'm going to be doing next year. So make sure you guys hang on for that. Subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, all that great jazz. Just check the description below. You are phenomenal people, you guys. Do not ever forget that. And as always, I hope you guys have a good one.